Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss articles, grammar articles, vocabulary, transport collocations, and speaking talk about ways to bring your excuses or to talk about traveling. Transport collocations and some words for transportations: bus, plane, train, taxi, car, helicopter, bike, horse, motorbike, and foot. So look at the road webs below and cross out the type or transport which doesn't go with the word. Then add the correct type of transport to each word web. So we can use take a train, we can use take a taxi, but we cannot use take a bike. Instead of a bike, we can use take a bus. So we can use get on a car, get on a plane, but we cannot use get on a motorbike because motorbike is not a public transportation, and instead of motorbike we use train, get on a train. And get off, we can use get off a bus, get off a train, but we cannot use get off taxi. Instead of a taxi, we use get off a tram. So go by car, we can use go by car, go by helicopter, but we cannot use go by foot. We should use go on foot, and instead of foot we can use go by train. And the last one, ride a bike, yes, we can use ride a horse, yes, it is true, but ride a plane is false because a plane is public transportation, and instead of plane we use ride a motorbike. So Futaba, let's look through some words for transportation. So 159, just a moment. So look at the pictures, match the type of transport with the photos. This is the first, here you see the name of transportation, name of transports, and bike, boat, bus, car, ferry, helicopter, lorry, truck, motorbike, plane, scooter, ship, a taxi, train, tram, underground, and van. So this is a taxi, a scooter, a helicopter, train, bike, subway, underground or tube, ferry, plane, van, motorbike, tram, bus, lorry or truck, boat, car, and the last one is a ship. So let's back to our page. Just a moment. Okay. We get information about transportation and articles. Article A, N, D, and no article. And we have some rules to look through. So let's open the page 144 for detailed information about articles. So when do we use no article? Usually use no article before plural nouns when we speak in general. For example, I love cats. Cats are used in plural and we don't use article. But I don't like dogs. You see dogs, plural. Sweets are bad for you. Before cities and countries, we don't use article. Shanghai is in China. You see, China, without China, no article. I went to Russia last year. And in some phrases, and you should know these phrases by heart, go by car, here you see no article, train, bus, taxi, go on foot, go home, go to work, school, be at home, work, school, have breakfast, dinner, lunch. These are common phrases without any article. When do we use a and an? Usually a and an before singular nouns and a before used the words that start with a consonant and an used before the words that start with vowel. Before singular nouns, it is a Ferrari. I have got a younger brother. Before jobs, my sister is a teacher. And then we use them before nouns when there is only one. The president, yes, the president is only one, and you know who is president, and you should use that. The president visited us last year. And can you close the door, please? And you know that door is definite, and you should use them. And in some phrases, in the morning, afternoon, evening, at the weekend, in the town, city center, on the left, on the right, so forth. But exceptions are always possible. These countries use the with groups, the United States, the United Arab Emirates, and with times use in the morning, afternoon, evening, but use at night. At night is an exception. So let's do some task for consolidation of the article, page 89. Okay. Look at this task and listen to extract from music tour and complete the text with an, they, and no article. And be attentive and just in a minute look through the task. Remember the rules that we learned. Okay, let's listen and match.
Unit 9, Recording 2.
Look at this photo on the left. It's from the World Fair in Seattle. That was in 1962. Monorails were a very popular idea in America at that time. People wanted to leave their cars at home and go to work by public transport.
Yeah, maybe you paid attention. By public transport, we don't use any article. So we have consolidating the rules for the article. Usually use an before singular nouns. Usually use no article before plural nouns. I love cars. Usually use no article before cities and countries. Madrid is in Spain. Use no article in some phrases: by car, on foot, go to school, at work. Usually use there before nouns when there is only one: the sun, maybe the moon. Use there in some phrases: in the morning, on the right, in the city center. That's about the article. And the last task, I'm going to it with the appropriate articles. And there was a big problem with each one. There are some monorails in the world, but not very many. Look at this photo. Is that a car, because car is singular, under the plane? And people wanted to fly from Los Angeles. Los Angeles is the name of city and no article, to New York. There was an engineering problem. We laugh at these now, but people were very serious about it. No article. People wanted to leave home in the morning and go to work by private helicopter. Helicopters are very difficult to fly. I hope you got general information about article. The article, this task article in grammar is really complicated, but general overview. So choose one of the endings and write a short story. Just look through the sentences and choose one alternative. For example, how do you get to school? And your answer could be like this: I get to school by car. And you can only choose one alternative. What are three things you like? For example, I like reading, traveling, and collecting stamps, for example. What is famous city in India? The famous city in India is Delhi or Mumbai. When do you check your emails? And what's the name of the president of the USA? Or maybe what's the name of the student next to you, or the teacher? Like this. And here we have a speaking tip and a linguistic tip. When you write a noun in your notebook, put it in a short phrase. This shows how to use the word with the articles an, the, or no article. For example, in the city center, he's a doctor, I like cats. Not just only about articles. When you learn new words, write down a word with collocation or with a word combination or new verb or new adjective and so forth. And this method will make the words more memorable, and you'll get a chance to use that word in your own sentence. So let's talk about adjectives, and in this part we'll talk about can, can't, have to, don't have to, adjectives, and talk about transport. Work in pairs and discuss. Here you see three questions and get your answers ready and answer these questions. Is there a lot of traffic where you live? When is the worst time to travel? Do you prefer to travel around your town, city, by car, by public transport, by bike, or on foot, and why? Adjectives. Circle through adjectives to complete the sentence. Cycling in the city is maybe fast, maybe comfortable, maybe difficult, or healthy. And we have lots of adjectives here: fast, easy, comfortable, dangerous, polluting, green, convenient, safe, inconvenient, slow, unhealthy, comfortable, uncomfortable, difficult, and healthy. So match each adjectives to its opposite. Let's start. Fast, slow, easy, difficult, comfortable, uncomfortable, yes, negative prefix, dangerous, safe, polluting, green, And healthy and unhealthy. Check new words, take notes. These are essential words to use. And look in your dictionary to find the pronunciation of new words. When you learn new words, do not forget to check the pronunciation and stress. This will make your speaking more lucid and understandable. So we have a brief text. Look through the text. Paris by City Bike. Paris by City Bike. A brief text about Paris and how do they use bikes to get home, to get work, so forth. Brief text. I think you may encounter some new words. For example, downhill, condition means rule, and my wind blowing, so pickup station, and maybe uphill. Lorry, you learned, it is a transportation, name of transportation. And please look through the text. I want to briefly read the text. With 20,000 bikes and 1,450 pickup stations, Vélib is Paris' free bike scheme. Cyclists can take a bike from one pickup station and leave it at any other station in the city. U.S. Jensen, a businessman, loves traveling to work with the wind blowing in his hair. There is a station near my flat and another 120 meters from my office, so it is perfect. I can get to work in 10 minutes. It takes 13 minutes by metro. The scheme is good for everyone, Parisians and tourists, a city official said. The only condition is that you have to be over 14 and healthy. Users have to pay 29 euros a year and give their credit card details. They don't have to pay for the first 30 minutes. After that, they have to pay €1 for the second half hour. The scheme is very popular, but there is one problem. Some people ride the bikes downhill in the morning and then take the metro home in the evening. I'm just not fit enough. One man explained, I can't cycle up the hill to my flat, so every evening city workers have to bring their bikes back uphill in a lorry. After the text, read the sentences and define, are the sentences true or false? Change the false sentences so that they are true. And look through the sentence and decide which of them are true and which of them are false. Okay, we have a new grammar structure to review. Can, can't, have to, don't have to. So page 100 and 144. Articles. We said can, can't, have to, don't have to. We use can when something is okay, permitted. We use can't when something is not okay, not permitted. And for example, I can use the bikes for free. He, she, we, they can't park in the city center. Use have to when something is necessary, obligatory, mandatory. Use don't have to when something is not necessary, obligatory. For example, I have to pay 10 euros. He, she has to pay 10 euros. I, you, we, they don't have to pay anything, it is free. He, she, it doesn't have to pay anything, it is free. Maybe you checked in the third person singular, we use has to, but the other persons we use have to. And we never make negative form of the have to with a not. We cannot use haven't to. and auxiliary verb do or does is used. So let's back to our page to perform some tasks for better understanding. Page 91. So let's use can, can't, have to, or don't have to. Of course, the answers will be directly related with text that we looked through. So you can go by underground or by taxi. Maybe we have some task here. Okay, you can leave the bike and at any station in the city, because according to the text we use can. A 13-year-old child can't use the bikes. Users have to be healthy. Users don't have to pay for the first 30 minutes. And here, tourists can use the bikes. Children can't use the bikes. Users have to. We use the particle to after have, the modal verb have, to give the credit card details. And you don't have to pay for the first half hour. And so the last task, you can go by underground bus or taxi to get to the airport. You can drive on the left in the UK. You have to drive in the town center, so come by bus. You have to be 16 or over to drive the Canada. You don't have to use your mobile when you drive. It is dangerous. You have to wear a seat belt in your car, the driver and all the passengers. You have to wear a helmet on bikes, but it is safer if you do wear one. And you don't have to park here for free between 11 and 3. On other times you can pay. So we have finished. Let's pass to the next page. Talk about apologizing, excuses, and tell a long story. What is excuse? Excuse means poor or inadequate example you use to hide the real reason. So maybe all of us use excuses in any part of our life. I lost my keys. I missed the train. My car broke down. And the traffic was bad. I didn't hear my alarm clock. Apologizing. So let's back to page 144 for comprehensive explanation of the word for apologizing or response. 144. So apologizing, sorry, I am late. You use these phrases or sentences to show you're apologizing. Sorry, I am late. And response can be like this. That's okay, no problem. I'm really very sorry. You can use I'm really sorry or I am very sorry and respond, don't worry about it. I am terribly sorry. I'm so sorry. No, really, it's fine. I feel bad about it or I feel terrible about it. And the other expressions for apologizing, I am afraid, and you define your, and plus you define your reason why are you afraid. For example, I am afraid I missed the bus, and sorry but I didn't hear my alarm clock. And these responses are negative. For example, I don't believe you, don't let it happen again. And here you see when speaking, to emphasize how you're sorry, use adverb so and plus sorry. And to show how it makes you feel, use the subject feel plus adjective and about and express your reason. And like this, reply with no, really, it is fine when someone apologizes again. And you can use also don't let it happen again, only when you are real angry. Yes, you can be angry and you can show your positive attitudes or negative attitudes for any excuse using this phrase. Let's back to page 92. And so train delays. Look, I am really sorry. Not real. I am terribly sorry I am late. I feel terrible about it because feel is link verb. I am sorry my train hit a car. Hit a car, yes. So next, and maybe it's the last test. It's about dialogue, and this test 5A is about creating a dialogue. And using these phrases, you are going to make conversation or dialogue or act out. Student and teacher, sorry, I'm late. I'm afraid to say reason. And the excuse is acceptable. We can use positive, or it's not acceptable. We use negative response for that. And the last one, tell a long story. You are going to read the excuses for 3 days, Mondays, Tuesday, Wednesday, and you only direct extracts below. And why was the man late each day? And you write down your opinions to each excuses. And the last test for this unit and for this part is linkers, using linkers. We use linkers to add extra information or showing something negative or showing our attitudes like this. And all of them are essential when you write an essay, when you speak, because they make your speaking more natural. They are first of all, and, but, so, finally, because, then, after that. And underline or circle them a listening extract below. First of all, I got up late because, and because show reason. I didn't hear my alarm, so I only woke up at 8:30. I ran to the train station. Usually I walk, but negative. Opposite the previous sentence. But I missed the train by 2 minutes. Then it means addition. I waited for the next train, quarter 9, and everything was fine until we just stopped in the middle of nowhere. The guard said that there was a signal problem. After that addition, the air conditioning stopped working. It was like an oven at least 1,000 degrees. Finally means eventually, means ultimately. It means showing the ending of something. Finally, after 40 minutes, we started moving very, very slowly. And which linkers do you use for the beginning and end of the story? We use, first of all, for the beginning, and we can use finally for the end of the story. Which two linkers mean next in the story? Next means then, after that. Okay. And linkers join sentences in the story and help listeners to follow and understand the story better. When you next tell a story, practice using the linkers in exercise 7A. And speaking task, please imagine you are late for an important event situation, for example, wedding party, birthday, an English lesson, date with a boy, girlfriend, meeting, so forth. What's about 5 things that happened and use the photos to help think. Look at the photos, imagine that these 5 things happened. It rained, it was just traffic, maybe some natural disaster, or maybe it rained a lot, and so forth. So many excuses, so many accidents can happen. And answer this question: when was it? Where were you? Who were you with? What happened? What did you do? What happened finally? And using linkers, make your essay ready, and then in pairs discuss with your partners. And thank you for joining. See you next lessons.